Hi, welcome back to the Blackbird Shed. I'm just been doing just a bit of DIY today in the house. I've come back into the bird room tonight. It's just past 8 o'clock at night. It's been quite a warm day, a bit overcast, and this warm weather hasn't been really good for the birds, to be fair. Earlier on, found a couple of dead finches, babies, probably about 4 or 5 days old. They were in the aviary. So that first thing in the this morning, fairly good size, probably about 5 days old. Jet black they were, and the one was a bit further in here, but they were separated by quite a bit. Nowhere near a nest, so they've been tossed. Now, I believe that they're possibly spice finch chicks, because there is a nest in there. I have not seen anybody go in the nest, so I've got no proof that it's a spice finch. I had a look in the nest. There's some eggs in there, and there's 2 more chicks. They're alive. They were asking for food, so I put the nest back, and fingers crossed that it was just the heat that's perhaps killed them, and that the parents have removed them and thrown them away from the nest. I'm sort of guessing that if they'd tossed them just out of spite or just for no reason whatsoever, that they would have just chucked them straight out the nest. But they were moved away from the nest, so I'm hoping that they died in the nest and that's why they've been moved. It's a lot cooler today, the wind's picked up as well, so I'm hoping that the 2 will be fed, and we'll have to just see really. I could do with getting some footage of what actually is going in the nest, just to make sure. I have got some spice finch hybrids in there, which are from the female and a cock Bengalese. I need to move those into the other flight with the other spice finch hybrids. I do need to sell those, so if anyone's interested. They're actually lovely birds. Anyway, I'm sat monitoring the pair 2, which is in cage 16, making sure that he's feeding them. This morning, I'll show you a little video of what I found this morning in the shed. And unfortunately, so have a look at the video, and then I'll talk in a bit. Cheers, thanks. So we've had another pecking incident where the cock, the father of these 4 birds here, which is the mother, the yellow one, so its head pecked really badly. It's sort of scalped it. Now, he did do a bit of pecking on his first round, but that was a dark bird that he pecked, and he only picked it a little bit. I managed to separate them in time. The other one's looking great though. But his son, he pecked the head of a yellow bird, and it's in here. It's one you've probably seen quite a bit if you've watched my videos. See if I can find it. It doesn't look like the feathers are going to grow back properly. There she is. It's really got a bold head. It's going through the mould. Still a possible chance it could come back. Looks like we've got a bold bird. So this one could be the same. It could end up being the same. There was very juvenile feathers. The bird itself is only fledged today, so it's only 3 weeks old. It was born on the 4th of the 7th, and it's the 23rd today. Yeah, so it's about 19 days old. So only juvenile feathers. It's not looking particularly healthy. Let's just work with a little bit there. It's probably just in pain. Hope it gets fed and hope it survives, but let's hope the feathers do come back. So, came in there about half an hour ago. So about 7:30 at night after doing my DIY. I was worried about the chick, obviously with the head on the scalp. I wanted to survive that. But it was dead. Found it dead. So that's been disposed of. did notice also that the wings, just at the base of the wings where the feathers come from, sort of here, that was also quite red. A lot of blood on there, just not a lot, but so I couldn't notice that the first time round. I did separate the cock this morning with the partition there, thinking it was the cock, and it could have been the hen. Really don't know. It could have been because that bird was the only yellow one in there. I've experienced that quite a bit this season, where an odd colour has been picked on, which is amazing really. But I'm just sitting here with a beer, and I just want to let them get used to me being here and see. I'm just monitoring their behaviour, just making sure nothing else goes on. Now I've removed the nest, because the nest had been filled up with bits and bobs, and it could have been that they were plucking the feathers to fill the nest, but it was quite excessive. And the feathers on the top of the head, they're not great to make a nest. The feathers around here are better, and the chest area, they're more better for a nest. And quite honestly, I'd have thought that if they were doing that, they'd have been plucking them from around just around the wing, underneath the wing, the downy sort of area. So I'm hoping it's just that one, because it was yellow and it was the odd one out. I'm just going to keep an eye on both the parents at the moment. I'm not sure whether I'm going to risk them both with them tonight. I'm off tomorrow, like I was today. So I think what I'm going to do is separate the cock from the youngest tonight before we settle down. Get up fairly early in the morning, and we'll monitor it again. If there's any pecking being going on with the chicks, then I know it's the hen. And then we can perhaps separate the hen. But we just need to work this out. I need to see if it is the cock. I need to see him feeding them through the wires. If he feeds them through the wires like he did previously in the first round one, then jobs are good, and it's going to be fine. If he doesn't feed them through the wires, then I've got to let them with them, but I need to just keep an eye on them. It's probably going to be another week before they even think about really eating themselves, getting sort of being weaned. So I'll let you have a closer look at them. There's the cock, which is the yellow with the collar. That's a nice bird he's with there. Got a bit of yellow on that one. So if anything's going to happen, that's the one I'll be worried about more than the others. The other two, nice birds. This is the sort of bird I'm looking for this season. I'm really trying to get varied, heavily dark birds. When they're in this sort of stage where they've only just come out, they do tend to jump on to the parents a little bit, and so there's a little bit of sort of squabbling which can sometimes happen, which is just innocent stuff. It's just the baby jumping at the parents, they feed me, and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm going to monitor this now for a bit, and then we'll watch for another half an hour, then I'll probably separate the cock from the chicks, and we'll monitor it again in the morning. In the meantime, I've got some footage of the Irish fancies. They've also fledged, so let's watch that video now. We've now got the Irish fancies off the nest. They came off today, and we have got some nice colours. They're a bit shy, so let's see if I can get a picture. This one I'm really happy with. Now the mother is a browny grey bird with a few white patches. This one's 60% brown, 40% white. So colours there. So I'm hoping that one's going to be a beautiful one. And the other two are yellow birds. We had a yellow one, and the last round, second round, it went light before I wrung it. So 3 nice birds there. a particular fancy for the different colours. But let's hope they're as nice as these ones in here. These white ones in here are just stunning. And the one that was going a bit light, he's still alive. That's in there, looking a lot more healthy. Let's have a closer look at this this bird that died today. So I noticed that it was a bit fluffed up yesterday. I think that's what we call going light. So it's really fluffed up, and it was eating, just sitting on the food, just eating the food. And just didn't look right. And to be fair, when they go like that, normally you haven't got a lot left, not much time left with them. So it was a nice bird. It was my favourite bird. It was the cinnamon sort of colour, lovely wings, beautiful. Obviously it hadn't been through the molt yet. It was just it would have been doing that over the next couple of months, and it would have been nice to see what it would have turned out like. A previous one from the same parents last year came out quite a grey cinnamon colour, and this one looked like it was going to be like a proper cinnamon with lighter wings on the tips, quite symmetrical, and it was going to be a nice bird. So I can feel that it's chest bone here, where I can feel the bone down the front. It doesn't feel like there's a lot there. So I would say it's not ate a lot. A little bit of poo at the end there, but nothing that would make you think there's a problem there. Yeah, and it was only 2 days ago. It was a healthy bird, and it's gone, and it's unfortunate really, but it is what it is. I suppose it's what makes the hobby a challenge, that you do lose a lot of birds, and it's more satisfying when they pull through and they go up, and then they have young of their own. So got to say that it's highs and lows, and you get the lows now and then, and it's just a shame that this one, because I really did like this one and I was quite keen on it. Sometimes you can hold them and revive them, but I can feel the stiffness in this. Oh, it's passed away. Peter. Like that. Just found it basically in the corner, sort of like that. I think it was on its way out anyway, so real shame, because it was going to be a good one, I think. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Bit of sad news, but you know, we'll have successes. There is another one in there which is looking a little bit light, which is an Irish fancy. Fingers crossed that actually was light before this one was, so it's holding on. Yeah, let's see if I can spot that one. It's that one at the back there. It's quite a slim bird, but then Irish fancies are. Get out of the way here. It's behind that yellow bird. No, it's not going to move. Now, an Irish fancy would normally be quite slim, like the white one there. The slenderness, slim neck. And that one, although it doesn't look like it's fluffed up if you compare it to the other ones, compared to its brother or sister next to it, considerably different. It is sort of hunched in a ball, and I have seen it quite fluffed up. You can also see it's breathing. It's a sort of quite heavy. It doesn't seem to be concentrating correctly. It doesn't seem to be quite on it. Isn't that Irish fancy beautiful, that white one? So slim and really stretching its neck. That's a lovely bird. The one behind, which should be like that, was like the mother. Same colour as the mother, so I was quite glad that we had that one. And fingers crossed we don't lose him, but it could happen. It is what it is, really. It is gorgeous. That's a keeper, I think. Anyway, so that's an update on that, unfortunately. And yeah, we live and learn, and life goes on in the bird room. What I did was, I haven't got any baycocks. I just give some vitamins into some of the water, a few days back. There was one in there which I couldn't save, which was that cinnamon one, and he was the one that went light early, so it doesn't mean it's the end of the world if they do go light. I can pull through. The other one that wasn't particularly healthy was that one over there, the dark one. Still not looking 100%, but it does look better than it was. Again, that was fluffed up a little bit. So hopefully it's eating well and it's putting on weight and it'll pull through. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Irish Fancies. So now I'm going to show you some footage of the golden finches and how they're coming along with their molt. Quite a lot's moved on since we last looked at those. It was a video about 5-6 days ago. One of the cockbirds, which is a young from the first three, one with the grey band, is really coming through. Going to be a red head. Really see the turquoise around the neck in this area here, which is certainly it's a cock. There's also a pink-breasted one, which normally you'd think, well, purple, pink, the pink's going to be the hen, but this has got the turquoise around the neck as well, and well, it's hard to say because this is my first time breeding golden finches, but I'd say that's a cock as well. They're both singing. There's a white-breasted one which is singing too. Haven't got any colour really coming through on the head on that yet, but I think there might be a couple of red feathers, but very minimal. You'll see that the one is very well developed, and I'm looking forward to what they're going to look like. So just so you know, the birds that are from the first round, we have a purple ring, a light blue ring, and a grey ring. So look out for those, and they're the ones from the first. They're born March this year. So they'll be the first ones that I'll be looking to move on, unless I'm going to keep any. If you do like any of those and you live in this area, Worcestershire. I hope you enjoyed that. Also, there's a little nest which has been nesting into some in my bay leaf bush. Quite an open nest. No cover on top. Again, I don't know who's made that nest. But when I was looking at it, the starfinch was hopping around and was a bit interested that I was quite close to it. It's 2 eggs in there. So that could be a starfinch nest. Now they've been very. I've got a cock and a hen. They really haven't done much, so maybe that's my first, well, not the first eggs, but maybe that's going to be some eggs that actually hatch from them. And of course it could also be spice finch, golden finch. Well, they've got their eggs here, so it won't be them. and the two, I've got some footage of the, you probably saw it, of the Indian silver bills. They're two cocks, they won't be theirs. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. Any comments, I'll try and get back to it. Any questions, any advice would be great as well. And we'll get a video out sometime next week, perhaps with an update on these chicks. And we've also got a couple more chicks down here which are ready to fledge in about a week. And we've got eggs at the top in my final pairing for the season. I'm hoping for another cinnamon bird there. They're due on the 31st of July. So let's hope this warm weather doesn't carry on quite so warm, and enjoy your bird keeping. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye.